Well, we started with 120 runners and we're now down to the last 48 in the BoyleSports Irish Derby. More top-class racing here tonight at Shelbourne Park. And again, the undoubted star was the hot anti-post favourite, Clares Rocket. And I'm sure you were all delighted to see him go round clear as a bookmaker.
Yeah, and he's our biggest loser we've ever had in the 4-year sponsorship. So this is really squeaky bum time for us now. He looks unstoppable in the form that he's in at the moment. He's starting, he's running the bends great, he's powering down the back, he's powering home. 29.16, 29.15. If you saw a dog doing that once off, you might say something, but back to back, in that form he's unbeatable, and it's going to take something special to stop him, or a bit of bad luck. And like I said, he's the biggest loser we've ever had in 4 years of sponsorship, so that's saying something.
We're all delighted to hear that. But we'll go back to the start of the evening. We'll go through the various heats. First up, Heat 9 tonight, a Clonbrien hero, already a dual classic winner. And he could well be one of the major threats to his kennel companion, Clares Rocket. This fellow did it right, showed great early speed to get around the corner from Skywalker Manor, and then held off Lascairn Vardy, ran a blinder in second, but Clonbrien hero doing things right. 29.41, a hell of a run. Yeah,
massive run, and that dog is improving every time we see him run. A tricky draw tonight from 5. It was only a 5-dog race, so one missing from the inside did help. Trap 3 was obviously out, so that did help slightly, but he paced up to the corner and was race over when he went down the back straight in front. Lascairn Vardy ran a massive race in behind. He went stride for stride with him, and he was gaining on him as well, so that's one at a massive price. We always see massive price runners running well in the Derby, and he's definitely one that fit under there. And Skywalker Manor, a former kennel companion to Clonbrien hero, also running a big race back in third.
Yeah, former Laurels winner, of course. 2 Laurels winners taking each other on there, but Clonbrien hero very much the big winner in that contest. On so to the next race, and here we saw Tyre Harold. We know that a lot of your crew in BoyleSports hold this fellow in high regard. He showed white tonight, didn't hit the lids, was only third into the corner, but importantly held off KILGRANEY Denver to turn third, and then come to pass, sort of clipped the rail, and he edged off down the back straight, and Tyre Harold was just far too fast for the front two, powered to the front by the third bend, and stayed on stoutly to win. 29.68, he can go lengths faster, we know that. He's a rapidly improving greyhound. This is a very fast dog.
Yeah, look, he's a track record holder in his brief career already, obviously doing that around Longford, and tonight was a big night for him because he didn't lead, and we all thought that he had to lead to be impressive, and down the back straight he just burnt them. He really did. He just set them alight. He outpaced them, hand over fist going to the third bend, and he would never look like losing once he hit the front. He's getting stronger as well. He's staying on stronger to the line, and PJ Fatty has a real good prospect on his hands. Clonakilty ran a massive race, there was a little bit of bumping down at the third bend. He capitalised there, and the owl by JTJ, he's still in there throwing his hat in the ring, but he's definitely going to have to wake up in the early stages races. He's not going to be able to get away this much ground in the early stages, but look, they'll take a good one to knock him out still.
He is a dog that does get better through competitions, however, and we know he has that big race temperament. He's a dog that's already won 2 or 3 majors. You'll never rule him out.
No, you can't ever rule him out, but look, he can't afford to keep giving away this amount of ground. But from halfway, he's the heart of a lion. We know that, and if he keeps qualifying, he'll keep trying.
He's 11, a messy contest. You know, it looked at one stage Toolmaker Bamba was going to win it. BALLYMAC Galway looked a likely winner at one stage going into the third bend. Then Toolmaker Bamba tried to take over. The pair clashed. MILLDEAN Skip was never far off the pace, came through to lead. Pension Plan came on a run. It was a messy sort of race, but as it was, MILLDEAN Skip, in fairness to him, he stuck his neck out to win it.
Yeah, and this dog ran a cracker last week, and Skippy Gilbert told me last week he'd a nice bet on him to beat Jet last week. Jet just got up to collar him late on, and look, Skippy really likes this dog, and he's running really well. You summed it up. It was a messy race, a race that if you were in, you just took qualification. They hit each other everywhere they could, they bumped into each other everywhere they could, and it was just a war of attrition from start to finish. DROOPYS T, we know what she can do. She's a stout enough stayer. She stood on well, and Pension Plan, a young dog only having his 5th race, ran a bit green tonight, moved off the last bend, but look, MILLDEAN Skip was there, and I'm delighted to see Skippy crossing the line in front because I broke his heart last week.
Indeed, he was on it. He backed it 8-1 last week. He keeps telling me. Anyway, BALLYMAC Galway and Toolmaker Bamba, you have to feel sorry for their connections, but I'm afraid it wasn't meant to be this year.
Yeah, no, and I know Robert fancied Obama tonight. I know he backed him as well. He thought he had a good chance from the draw, and look, going into the third bend, it looked like he might even win it, and then to go from thinking you're going to win the race to not even qualifying, it's tough luck.
On to Heat 12, where it was the aforementioned Clares Rocket. It was just in a league of his own. He flashed from traps. He was sort of 2 lengths clear into the corner, came out of it a length clear. A couple of people said to me he got clipped from behind. As far as I'm concerned, there was no touch. It was just he cuts in, probably lost that little bit of ground or momentum. Probably cost him the record. He probably would have done a 29.08, 29.09 run if he had charged that first bend without sort of cutting in as much as he did. Strange one, but he wins by half the track. Big running behind by his kennel companion Hovex Mick, and Dorota's Wildcat run well to qualify in third. Didn't have the clearest patches after a slow enough start. Himself and JT Yankee came to blows a couple of times. You know, just got in each other's way, and that was the difference for JT Yankee, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it was. Look, the Wildcat just outpowered Yankee down the bottom bend. It was as simple as that. A 68-pound dog trying to force out an 80-pound dog. There's only going to be one winner there, but what do you say about Clares Rocket? He's just unbelievable. Like, he really is. In the form he's in at the moment, he's unbeatable in my opinion. If he keeps starting that like that, and look, we led him the track record not to go, so I know that Damien was very, very happy that he may have lost length up there, because in the form he's in, it's a matter of time. He's just so impressive. He doesn't have any flaw that I can see. He's so quick to the corner, he's so quick down the back straight, and he powers home. He's the complete greyhound. Hovex stayed on really, really well in behind, and like you said, it was a battle between Yankee and Wildcat at the bottom bend. Unfortunately, it looked like the two of them would have qualified, but the bumping and barging, unfortunately from hitting myself, put out Yankee. But look, throws Wildcat, he's not pinging the lead like he did in England. He's going to have to start.
Yeah, it was impressive how close he got to Clares Rocket at the corner after missing the kick. I wouldn't be surprised now if he flashed out some night he'd do a big, big run.
Yeah, look, we said that last week. I've always thought this. I thought the world of this dog, and if he starts like he can and runs the bends a bit sweeter, there is a massive run in him, but he's going to need to start trapping here. I
nominated a dog at 100 to 1 at the start of Derby that would run very well, KILGRANEY Ace. I was very disappointed with him last week, but it just didn't happen for him. He was forced wide a couple of times, and this fellow doesn't need an excuse to run wide. Tonight, he ran very wide, but he still had so much pace. He just went into overdrive down the far side to take over from Black Farron at 29.36. It was a hell of a run from a very fast greyhound.
What would he do if he railed? He runs so wide, he throws away lengths. Well, Thomas was away in America there for the last week or two, sunning himself. He's back now, and I think Ace must be happy to see him, because he was a different animal tonight. He really, really was. He's so consistent, whether it was in Cork or Dublin, he gives you the run every night. If he could only stay in, he's probably, I'm not going to say he's as fast as Clares Rocket, but you see it, 29.36, and he's thrown away lengths up here, lengths down there. So if he could only keep in at all. But look, he's still going to be there, and at 100 to 1 he was a massive price at the start of the competition. Black Farron, gallant in defeat, ran a crack him down to the third bend, held him the whole way, but Ace is very, very strong, and if he can keep going to the bend and doing those sub 340 sections, I'm presuming it was a sub 340 tonight, he looked to go well to the corner, he will keep qualifying, because he'll stay wide, he'll stay out with trouble, and a dog capable of doing 29.36, he's going to be in the first three more nights than he'll be out of it. Higher level and a massive price, keep his name in the hat too.
Yeah, she's potential stare, that one. She really, I can't wait to see her over £6.
Yeah, exactly. Look, there's plenty of them in here, and she's another one.
Yeah. Moving on, the next heat here, it was another very messy contest. In the end, Sab Miller had his card taken. He's one conduct trial to undergo. Lit Kilmessan Gold looks certain to go around in front, but Sab Miller, I'm afraid, put paid to that. And in the end, it was Drumsna Star that came through, a consistent greyhound. He's never going to win a Derby. He's 3.5 years of age. He's still running well though, 30.02. Yeah,
and look, it was very messy, unfortunately, for connections with Sab Miller. There's nothing you can do when that happens, but he's a very fast dog, and I'm sure Peter will be very, very disappointed in him tonight. But look, it was messy from the opening bend, and Drumsna Star picked up the pieces. I thought Inky Holden ran on very, very strongly in behind. He's got plenty of early, can show more early pace than he's shown. If he starts, there's a better run in him. And Rocky Bear over, Cork form, scintillating, needs to produce it up here, just not transferring that form yet, but maybe he can. But Drumsna Star connections, I'm sure, will be over the moon.
Over the moon indeed. I'm actually particularly over the moon for the connections of Inky Hold'em. 2 or 3 of the sporting owners were here tonight and absolutely delighted with themselves. They threw the hat in the ring. They're coming over to Ireland every week, and well, they're getting their run for their money.
Yeah, and that's all you can ask for. Look, we're delighted to see them. We always say we want English runners to come over, and there's paying dividends. Droopys, Wildcat and Inky through again.
Yeah. Indeed, heat 15, the penultimate heat of the round, and here DROOPYS KABAYE, a dog that just goes from strength to strength. This fellow is improving every night he goes to the track. As you said, he went 10, 12, 13 runs without a win, and now he's racked up quite a sequence, and this is a dog that's quickly developing into a greyhound that could be thereabouts on September 23rd.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we talked about it. Once you get a win under your belt, these dogs, they're confidence is an issue for them, and he now has got confidence, and he's running like a different animal than he was running 2-3 months ago. Graham is really getting a good tune out of him. Another Drumsna legend qualifying there as well, and also Concrete Jungle, he ran a big race. But look, DROOPYS KABAYE, I'm sure he'll be still a pretty decent price. It'll be humbling, but he could be one at a value, because he was so inconsistent, let's say, prior to rattling off a few victories, but he's a different species now than what he was.
29.51 tonight, it's not to be sniffed at. Ed Drumsna legend, as I said, completing a great night for the Quins.
Yeah, definitely. Look, and they'll be over the moon to keep their name in the hat. And Pat, he was disappointed with DROOPYS Wilbury, but he'll be happy that he got one through there.
I'm sure one dog you were willing to lay all week was probably Whoops Jack at a restrictive price. The signs were there last week. He's not the dog he was about a month ago. Missed the kick tonight, and looking to go inwards, found traffic problems, and then he was struggling thereafter to qualify. And as it was, BALLYMAC SARAHJO, she got stopped in a run at the third bend, or between the last 2 bends, but she stays on like a train. Well, she deserved a victory in the end.
Yeah, she did. Look, it was Whoops Jack for me. was flying until the Champion Stakes final, and he didn't run the bends for me in the Champion Stakes final. I don't know whether that's anything got to do with it. I have no information on that. I just didn't think he ran the bends, and he hasn't performed in this Derby, which was a pity. But BALLYMAC, SARAHJO, what do you say for her? She went to England, she'll run over 6 bends, she'll probably run over 8 bends, and here she is winning in the second round of the Derby. She's a real consistent sort, and if you give her trap 1 every night, she'll keep on plugging away there, and she'll rattle off a couple of more rounds, I'm sure. Swords, Pepe and Kilesel Jack, there'll probably be big prices in the next round, but look, they're in the third round of the Derby.
Indeed, and that's what it's all about. There's 48 dogs in the third round of Derby. I'm sure Clares Rocket is going to be a short price favourite now. Even shorter, should I say.
I'd say he'll probably set the record for being the shortest price favourite at the third round of a Derby, because like how do you beat him? Like really, and I hope I'm not putting the mockers on him, but like if he keeps starting the way he's going and keeps running the way he's going and injury free, I just don't see anything coming near him.
Indeed. How do you beat him? Kevin doesn't know, and to be honest, at this stage, I'm not sure I know. Anyway, let's see how Clares Rocket goes next week. Join us for the third round of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby, the first time of this year's competition, while all the remaining greyhounds race on the one night.